The Australian radio network asked, Chinese officials will argue that these documents prove nothing regarding rights abuses. What proof do they contain? So really, of course, they'll say that every time. They said that with every previous leak, basically. But how are you going to fake this amount of image material? And we don't just have images, we have PowerPoints that contain a huge amount of material, including image material. We have PDFs, we have original documents, we have spreadsheets of security drills containing photos of those security drills that are clearly from Xinjiang. We have the photos of the insides of highly classified police headquarters in Kunashir County. We have original documents for stamps, formatting, and everything on them. We have the images of police drills. You know, did we make up those police drills in our living rooms, reconstructing a Xinjiang detention camp? So I think this time, I think it's game over for them, you know, even more so than before. These are not just documents. This image material, nobody is going to fake this image material. But even also the amount of these spreadsheets, the amount of these documents. If you were going to fake those, how much time would that cost? And you would make some mistakes, right? We looked at this closely. The material is also not very sensationalist. The BBC and many of the media involved interviewed Uyghurs who identified their relatives on images and in the documents. To answer that question, just read a question. There are people on behalf of Chinese government propaganda who are claiming this has been faked, even claiming they have proof. How have the leaks been independently verified? So the BBC has quite a bit about how they authenticated the files. The German Spiegel magazine and the German counterpart at the Bavarian broadcast, which is part of the national broadcaster investigative team. They have a 15-minute clip, and the 15-minute clip played at primetime German television really goes into detail how they analyzed the camera metadata, how they matched, how they geolocated. It's in German, unfortunately, but it's extremely impressive. The BBC one is in English. And of course, in my research paper, I also describe how I authenticated the material. So firstly, I looked at how do the documents compare to existing leaked documents in terms of the language, key terminology, the statements, the commands. So that's one aspect. Then I looked at the internal consistency of the material. Of course, you always have little mistakes and errors. That's normal. You always have at least a couple % of mistakes. These officials are under high pressure, and I've seen that in the past. You know, some images were duplicate, or there's some wrong ID associations because it's so much, you know. But the amount of consistency is hugely impressive at the same time. Then I also looked at image camera metadata. You know, you can see the camera serial number of the camera that took the images of the detention drill. It's very consistent. It's the same camera that the images were taken with, and we were able to geolocate the location of at least 2 of the facilities, match them. And then, of course, I think the most powerful argument is the sheer amount of material and the sheer amount of image material. Again, how are you going to fake this image material, right? With obvious, you know, from Xinjiang Uyghurs, you know, you could think, oh, the CIA could recreate a detention camp. Okay, maybe they can, but can they stage, you know, hundreds of images of local police drills with people who totally look like Uyghurs and are dressed like Uyghurs and in a rural setting with obviously rural Xinjiang countryside buildings and Han Chinese police? I mean, they would have had hundreds of actors, right? I mean, somebody would have found out about this, like, this would be like a movie production, right? This would be like $100 million movie production where you try to recreate hundreds of scenes. So the amount of material is unbelievable.